I'm now going to call the Wednesday, July 7th, 2021 meeting of the Norfolk County Commissioners to order. Would you please join me in saluting the flag? I pledge allegiance to the flag
The flag of the United States of America,
and
for
to
which-
the republic for which it
which
stands,
it stands,
one nation, under God, indivisible.
indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much. This meeting is being held on the executive order on remote participation on Thursday, March 12th, 2020. Governor Charles Baker issued an order suspending certain provisions of the open meeting law. Chapter 30A, Section 20. That order was effective immediately until it is rescinded or the state of emergency is terminated. On Wednesday, June 16th, 2021, by action of the legislature, the order was extended until April 1st, 2022. We have the option to be in person and or have the meeting remote. So we've got a little bit of both here today. I'm going to call this meeting to order and call the roll. Commissioner Collins? Present. Commissioner Stady?
I'm present remotely, present.
And the chair is present. We have a quorum. Number 3, executive session. I'll take a motion to go into executive session, please. And if it passes, we will be returning to complete the remainder of the agenda.
I'll make a motion to go into executive session in accordance with Mass General Law, Chapter 30A, Section 21, Subsection A, Subsection 3, to discuss strategy with respect to collective bargaining or litigation. If an open meeting may have a detrimental effect on the bargaining or litigation position of the public body, and the chair so declares.
I'll second the motion.
All in favor of going into executive session?
Roll call.
I'm sorry, Commissioner
Roll
Collins,
call.
Yes.
Commissioner Stady,
Yes.
Chairman Shea will vote yes, 3-0 to go into executive session. And as I stated earlier, we will be returning for the remaining.
Well, yeah.
I'll get Phil.
Comment.
Hey, down the Cape.
Yes. Beautiful. It's beautiful, beautiful day. How was it back there? Hot as heck?
Yeah, it's nice.
Not too bad?
It's hot, but it's nice. It's sunny.
Yeah. Hey, I didn't get the warrant, so you'll have to lead the way, Peter, this week. I didn't see it, but,
We got it right here. We'll take care of it.
okay, I know. I usually chime in on that, but just giving the FYI.
You just sign those, Joe.
It's all good. I'm surprised
Okay.
I'm getting good reception. My internet's not crashing on me yet.
You guys gonna get hit with the hurricane? What's the deal?
What's that? I'm sorry?
What about the hurricane? You gonna get hit by the hurricane?
I haven't heard anything. I hope not, obviously. Geez, sometimes down here, Peter, that's the last thing you think about. I'm just taking it one day at a time, but I'll check it. Yeah. I don't know. We're more worried about great white sharks. That's what we worry about down here. Everywhere you turn around is a threat or an app will tick away with a shark sighting. So,
Okay.
Well-
Thank you. We're back on the record on the Norfolk County Commissioners Wednesday, July 7th, 2021 meeting. Regular agenda number 4. Minutes of the open session meeting of June 30th, 2021 for approval.
I'll make the motion to approve the minutes.
yep, I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
It is.
Aye.
Number 5, minutes of the open meeting session of July 1st, 2021 for approval.
Motion.
Is that the group meeting of all the counties?
Correct.
With that, yeah, yep, second.
All in favor? Aye, unanimous. Number 6, public comment. Do we have any public comment? Did we receive any notice?
I would like to make a public comment, please.
Okay, who's speaking, please?
My name is Peg Comer. Good afternoon, Commissioner Shea, Commissioner Collins, and Commissioner Stati. I'm speaking
Hello.
on behalf of Liam McGahey as a representative of Local Union 2417. I would like to give you a gentle reminder that we understand the Abrams Group is here to help improve all of Norfolk County and its town with their operations. Once again, we were asked to fill out questionnaires on our job performances and tasks. We were also reminded that our job positions would not be affected. The fiscal year 2020 budget has been passed and funded. We should keep it as it is and move forward. The registry has been very busy. We need all of the positions in order to keep up with the current workload so that we are able to provide the best possible services to all of the constituents of Norfolk County. That being said, any upcoming appointments and promotions need to be approved. These positions are very important. Without these appointments and promotions, our job performances will be affected. We need them to keep the registry in a smooth operation and effectively and running as effectively and as efficiently as possible. The registry has been named one of the most efficient registries in the state. That is due to the hard work of all of the employees here. Cutting or even eliminating positions will only hurt the overall efficiency of the registry and its abilities to bring the revenue in that it currently does, which in turn will affect the county. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Kate. Any other public comment? Number 7, facilities maintenance, capital improvement report, and Corona update. John McGowan.
Good afternoon, Commissioners.
Good afternoon.
Don?
Once again, there are no COVID-19 incidents to report, which I'm very happy to say. But I do hear that there is a little uptick in the people coming down with, I don't know if it's the new strain or what, but hopefully it stays the way it is. I've been dealing, as I told you, I've been dealing with Superior Court, the regional guy for the state. The courts are going to open on Monday for, I imagine, I think it's full capacity, the public and jury trials. I don't know if the jurors are coming back right away. I think I heard Mary Hickey say towards the end of the month. But I'm trying to get ready for it anyway. The requirements are they want the air quality to be improved. And what I did was I purchased air conditioners for each courtroom, in addition to the ones that we have. They also wanted these intake fans and exhaust fans in the window to bring fresh air in and stale air out, which I purchased those too, and I'm picking them up tomorrow. I already have the air conditioners. I got those last week. Also, I have to supply, I mean, they're going to supply them. I'm not buying these, the fresh air filter, fresh air machines, HEPA-vac fresh air machines. I ordered, I think I have 9 or 10 more coming. I'm picking those up tomorrow. What I'll do is I'll each courtroom I'll issue, I'll spread them out over all the courtrooms in Superior, and we will be in compliance with the state requirements by Monday. So I just want to let you know that. Quincy Court, the roof, the rubber roof they're finishing that up today. That'll be complete. I had a problem with one of the smaller roofs outside the judge's lobby. One of the drains got clogged up. I don't know how, but it did, and there was water up there, and I had the roofers get on there, and they pumped the water out, off the roof, but they couldn't get the drain cleared out. So I had to get a plumbing company in there with the snake or whatever they use to get that out. The breakage, or I don't really know what's wrong with it yet, but they were down there this morning, but he needed more help. He was there at 7. Tomorrow he's showing up again at 7. Hopefully we get that drain cleared out. And I think he will, because they're a pretty good outfit. Now, as far as Stoughton goes, I know that the drawings were sent to the fabricator by the contractor, and that's in the works. So hopefully we can get that moving along. I've got the ductwork guy is going to start tomorrow morning at 7 o'clock. He's going to be in there doing because the ductwork has to be relocated. I think I mentioned that to you before. I don't want to go into a big process of it, but I know you'd know it was in the wrong location, so he's going to put it in the right location, do all the ductwork, get ahead of that. So when we do, when the new unit comes in, it'll fit right over it. And hopefully that's the way it works out. But as of now, that's about all I have going now is that. That's all I know about Stoughton as I speak to you now. But if I can answer any questions, I will, if you have any.
Any questions of Superintendent McGowan?
Yes, a few, Mr. Chairman, through you.
Yes, Commissioner.
Thank you. John, those items you listed in terms of adapting and making the court suitable for use, are those, I'm guessing, reimbursable or even from, say, CARES Act money or from the state because they are for the court?
The air conditioners that I purchased it's a part of the court rental. That'll be included in the court rental.
Okay.
And we will be reimbursed for those and the fans.
Yes.
And fresh air HEPA machines, that they were purchased by the state.
Oh, I see.
So
Okay.
we don't.
I see.
I had to give them a list of the square footage and which courtroom they're all going into, and they have a serial number on them, and that's what they're gonna own those.
Okay, great.
Everything else will be reimbursed for. I'm only going by what their requirements are, Commissioner.
Right.
I
Okay.
dealt with the people in town, and that's what they expect for each courtroom, not just our courtrooms. Every courtroom in the state, I think, is having those fresh air intakes done. I mean, the fresh air, some type of fresh air units coming in. Our buildings are old, and I don't have to do that in district court, but I might have to do it in Brookline or one of the other courts. I'm not sure, but I'm getting fresh air units for each of our courthouses. I haven't got into the public areas yet because I wanted to concentrate on the juries, the trial part of it, because that's what they're mostly concerned with. Because I know they want to get out of the place they're in now. It costs them too much money. That's what I'm hearing anyway.
Thank you. And could I ask you if you would kindly stay on the call, because there's an item later on our agenda that I may want to talk to you about, if you could stick around, okay?
Of course.
Okay, thank you, John. All set, Mr. Chairman. Thank you.
Director Cronin has a question for John. Go ahead.
Yes.
Not a question for John, but more of a statement, just a follow-up on what John was building on. There are a couple of other items for the commission's interest. The Dedham Superior Court roof project had its initial kickoff meeting this morning with Olson, the contractor. On the call were the clerk, Walter Timothy, and Mary Hickey, thank you. We impressed upon the vendor to make sure that as we begin the project, we define the space from a security protocol with regard to access to the catwalks and other apparatus they'll use to repair the dome. Also to have all workers cleared, quarried, if you will, to gain access to the building. Next week, I believe it's next Tuesday, pardon me, there'll be an on-site meeting with port staff, facility staff, Mr. McGowan, security staff, as well as the contractor to set the ground rules for the laydown area, access, and other facility-related impacts. So this job will take approximately 420 days. The goal is to obviously keep to schedule, and I'll be handling that weekly as we have these meetings. In addition, I just wanted to point out that, as we mentioned last week, we are following through on a couple of other quotes. We have Rentham, Brookline, and Registry district courts that need new boilers. They're well beyond useful life. We're getting bids right now. We have a verbal bid for each location. We'll use this information to plug into our FY23 capital plan. Furthermore, we're currently getting bids for fixing the three walkways at the Wallaston course. That includes hole 14 and the stairway to the top of 15. As soon as we have that information, we'll share it with the commissioners. The work that would be done at Wallaston is currently not funded. There's a reason to think of it as urgent, given the condition of the walkways. We'll assess whether or not that can come by way of surplus funds for FY22 once we get the bids back. And that is all in regards to facility matters. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Yeah. Joe,
Commissioner Collins.
with regard to the walkways at the golf course, does that include the stairs going from the lower parking lot to the upper?
Yes.
Okay. Last call for facilities maintenance capital improvement report. Okay, John, if you could stay on the line for Commissioner Stady's request. Number 8, old business. Do we have any old business?
No, sir.
Okay, number 9. Personnel matters for consideration.
Dick, do you want me to take these?
Whatever you want, Peter. I got it in front of me. I'll move a bunch. I could move, Mr. Chairman, and for the board, the notice of resignation of the following individuals: Emily McFetrich of Northbridge, Mass. Resignation of Margaret Fitzpatrick of Quincy, Mass. Eve Madden of Norwood. Brianna Ward of Medway. Diego Ferez of Stoughton. And I think Molly Larrabee of Boston. Those are all resignations at the, I believe they're all at the Aggie School. Is that correct?
Correct.
Right.
Is-
All right, so I'll make that motion for those individuals at the effective rate and of the date of, oh, shoot.
Yeah.
The dates are different. Shoot.
That's my
The
point.
dates are,
Okay,
for Emily, 6/28, Margaret was 6/29, Eve was 6/29, Brianna was 6/71, Diego is 7/1, and Molly 7/1. Let's make that part of the motion, I believe.
Okay, second.
motion made and seconded for notice of resignations. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people at the Norfolk County Agricultural School made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
It is unanimous.
A notice of a rate increase for Patrick Dolan of Franklin, Mass. Substitute worker at the rate stated effective 6/15/21.
Second.
All in favor of rate increase for Patrick Dolan as substitute worker, flat rate $14.50 an hour, effective 6/15/21. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Unanimous. Next one is in the Facilities Maintenance Department. Notice of
Right.
retirement.
Wow. So notice of retirement of John Neal of Quincy, Mass. as a custodian, and it's effective 7/5/21. So moved.
Second.
All in motion made and seconded to grant the
Yes.
retirement or to note the retirement of John F. Neal of Quincy, Mass. as custodian, effective 7/5/21. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye,
Best wishes to John.
absolutely. So on that, could I ask a question here, or do you want to finish the appointments? What do you want to do, Mr. Chairman?
Sure, ask a question, Commissioner.
So for John, if I could go back to John through you, of course, Mr. Chairman. I've noticed, I'm noticing more and more over the last couple of weeks, Mr. McGowan, you've got people retiring and leaving and so on, and your staff is starting to dwindle. I know we have the hiring freeze. I understand that. I'm not trying to muddy the water, but at some point, this has got to have an effect on your staff. I think I counted over the last couple of weeks, over 3 or 4 people resigning, retiring. Are you getting to the point where it might be essential for us to start filling some vacancies? Can you give us some guidance on this, John, if you're there? Hello? No? Shoot,
John,
maybe
is
I
John
lost him.
McGowan on?
Is John there? No? I asked him to stay. I thought I did.
No, I
Hello.
reiterated. I mean,
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, John, I'm sorry. My question, John, was, I'm sorry, maybe you didn't hear me. My
Yes, I
question,
did.
my comment to the chair was that over the last several weeks, I've noticed, and we probably have noticed, several retirements, resignations, and so on, from your overall department, without a concurrent, say, replacement, shall I say? This has got to take some toll, I would think, on your ability to keep our courts clean and safe and operating. So at some point, do you feel you need to move forward and ask for replacement, or are you, can we have some dialogue on this, some discussion? I mean,
Well,
sure, I'm big fan.
every position I have, needs to be
Yeah.
filled. But,
Yeah,
also, I'm here at every meeting and I know you're not gonna fill them. So
okay.
why, I don't wanna, I don't wanna give somebody the impression that I'm gonna, fill it. What I really need is a plumber.
Yes, I understand that. Yep, I
That's,
know, I know.
But
I know.
I heard at the last meeting, that we weren't gonna fill the plumbing position, so.
Oh, really? I
Uh,
didn't, I'm not sure
Well,
who said that.
presently, we're not, I don't know
Oh.
when we are, when the
Yeah.
freeze is gonna be over.
Yeah,
But, I have a lot of plumbing issues that, I have, utility guys, I try to send them down, see if they can fix it, but there's some certain things
Right.
that they can't do. And,
right.
I've tried to do some things myself and, but what you really need is a qualified plumber, so.
No, I mean, I know my own experience is limited. It might be. It's still, I look at it when you have resignations, you have people leaving or going out. You have to get the job done, which sometimes means people have to double up or come back and work extra shifts, and then they get overtime or extra pay, and it's kind of 6 of one, half another. So then it becomes maybe even a financial mandate that we fill those positions because it would make more sense. You know what I'm saying? So I think
understand it.
I'd like to see you maybe have a conversation with Director Cronin, with the permission of the board, and maybe outline a couple of positions, maybe 2 or 3 that you feel are important, that we move on sooner rather than later. Because I just feel, I don't know, I think it should be done. You've got a court, you run a good job, you've done a tremendous job, you and your staff. We don't want to see it start to fall apart because, like I said, you must have lost 4 or 5 people, haven't you, over the last month?
4. I've
Okay, there
lost
you go.
4.
My math is right.
The
So,
most
unless, the-
important one is the plumber.
yeah,
This John that just retired, he's the,
yes,
night, custodian in Brookline.
yeah,
What I have now is I have the day custodian, staying 4 hours overtime.
okay,
And, I have the, same problem, in a few other courthouses. I have a guy
Okay.
out on comp in Rentham, so I have the day guy filling in over there. But,
well, I
you
know
I'm
we
just-
have, okay, all right,
I'm just trying
Yep.
to, keep things going
Right,
until,
understand.
you make your minds up when you're gonna let me hire people.
Okay, so
I-
you're
I
waiting for
know-
us, okay,
Of course I want them,
Yeah.
I need a plumber, I've told you that before.
I
And,
know, yeah, okay,
I'm not gonna bring it up every week. I know, I'm concerned about it, of course. But,
Okay.
what can I do? Yeah. As always, the decisions are up to you.
yeah, I understand that. All right, so at least I'm aware of it. I I wanted to raise the issue. I know the board
Yeah.
has taken a position on the hiring freeze, and that it's we're trying to follow the policy. But I really think as I was suggesting, as a member, we really need to look at that. Sometimes you got to kind of, maybe be a little flexible. Where we're losing, those are 4 openings. How many more can you lose? And then run a very good, safe courtroom and keep them clean and keep them operating. So. That's my thoughts. That's all, Mr. Chairman. Thank you for allowing me to speak.
Thank you for your concern.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Director Cronin has a comment, I think.
No, I just wanted to confirm, when I had my entry meeting with Mr. McGowan, we spoke about the plumber vacancy. John, I'd like you to confirm that currently the county has plumbing services that can be made available in the event they are needed while this position is vacant. Is that correct?
Yes, but you don't want to have to pay for this guy. That company coming in, I had one job that they come in once before and it cost $6,000.
Wow.
But I could have done it. I mean,
No.
they're a backup plumber, but they're on call. So they don't get called that often because we have our own plumber. But when you do call him, I have him down at Quincy now. He was there today at 7, and he's coming back tomorrow. We need help.
Understood, John. I'm not debating the position need. I'm just trying to fill the hole here that the county plumbing needs are being met while this position is being discussed by the commissioners.
Not all of them, sir. No. I have plumbing issues in Stoughton. I have plumbing issues in Quincy. I have plumbing issues in the registry. These are bathrooms, small stuff. I can't call this guy in to fix sinks that are leaking because it'll cost me like $2,000. And it wouldn't be, what kind of a superintendent would I be there if I spent money like that?
Right.
It's not the right thing to do.
I would agree with you. Anybody who would quote $2,000 to repair a sink should not be used.
Well, you're paying for two plumbers, a plumber and a plumber's helper. These are things that we don't want to run into, and
right.
That's why I'm holding off on a lot of. I got a lot of out of order signs up.
Understood. Commissioner Stady, if I could just point out that the positions that you refer to within facilities are being held pending the Abraham's report outcome.
Right.
That was the reason. You're not in a hiring freeze, sir.
Okay, so thank you for clarifying that. And I always get that a little confused. I know that, and I understand that. And I think as we perhaps may have talked about, it gets fuzzy down at the Cape, but I know we're trying to anxiously await that report, and you were going to ask for Abraham's to move it forward a little bit. I think you had said that. Perhaps you had. Or maybe if they could do that, move it forward a little bit. I know we're trying to do the right thing. I get it. But like I said, too, I just feel strongly that, you got a plumber is gone, right? We don't have a plumber in the county. How do we operate? I'm really, frankly, how do you operate without a plumber? You got to have somebody in there, and toilets break down, sinks break down, things happen. So hopefully we'll get them to do something soon. That's all. Trying to help out John, help out our county. That's all I'm trying to do. Okay.
Commissioner Collins.
Yeah, thanks. So Dick, I hear everything you said, and one of the things we want to talk about was what John had said was, so the hiring freeze that we made the motion on, that ended at the end of the fiscal year. So technically, we're not in a hiring freeze anymore.
Okay, yes, thank you. But
it's pretty clear from the Finance Committee and the Advisory Board that they wanted to see what the Abrahams Group had to say about different jobs and different departments before we moved on it.
Right.
So the next two positions were positions at the registry. And I'm not saying they're not needed. I'm not saying that they're not wonderful people, and I'm sure they are. But it's kind of what we're up against. Even last week or even a month ago, the Finance Committee has asked us to hold off until the Abrahams Group report comes out. So I would suggest that the next two appointments, and again, I'm not saying we won't do it. I'm just saying that we need a plumber. We need all the people in the maintenance department. We need lots of people across the county, but we're just waiting on the Abraham's report, which is just weeks away. Is that correct, John?
Yes, sir.
So I would suggest that the two registry deeds positions, we just wait a few weeks till we have the Abraham's report, then we'll know a lot more.
Right. And I just want to emphasize again, for the record, I want to make it clear. I understand and I respect those positions. I just think there's a trickle down effect when you don't appoint people to fill a job someone else has to pick up the load. It does happen. Or someone else has to be paid, or you bring in, as Mr. McGowan said, an outside consultant, which could end up costing the county more money. And then you start saying, what are we doing? So I will ask this. I agree with you, Mr. Collins. I see what you're doing there on the next appointments, which are coming up. I hope and I pray that report comes out sooner rather than later, and that we have time to vet it and that we can get going, because I'm hoping we can make a lot of appointments in August. I mean, honestly, Mr. Chairman, we got to get our staff rounded out and get going. That's all. So anyway, I understand.
Okay. Number C, Registry of Deeds. We have two.
Yeah, well, actually, one is,
I'm opening it for discussion.
Yeah.
A motion is in order. I would like to suggest that you take the second before you take the first.
yeah, thank you, Joe. I just saw that. I'm going to notice the promotion of Lauren Dutton of Dedham to head administrative assistant, replacing Diane Watson. I mean, to me, I don't know. I think the person's there. She's just moving up. I'm going to make the motion. I'll make that motion.
Do we have a second to that motion?
If you want a second for discussion, that's fine.
Okay. Motion's made and seconded. Discussion on the notice of promotion of Lauren Dutton as head administrative assistant, replacing Diane Watson, who has retired.
Correct.
Okay,
Yeah, I think Diane retired. Yes, I think you're right.
okay.
Okay, argument would be, Peter, respectfully again, this person is already on the staff. This is not a new person. It is a new role. Mr. O'Donnell and like Mr. McGowan and others, they have to reorganize their staff based on retirements and movement of people. And this person, if you will, might play a role in, heading up that in a department. So I would hope we could help that department out and make that vacancy go forward. I do have a problem with the appointment. I think that's, again, a new person. Probably what the chairman decided to do is the second one, the first one second. But on the second, I would, advocate for the promotion. For what it's worth.
Okay, on the first one,
Oh, wait.
No, we're
On-
still,
on-
Still on the promotion.
Still on Dutton, yeah.
Okay, on the promotion. Thank you. Okay, yes, sir.
As a method in my madness here, I hope it doesn't further complicate things, but I agree with Commissioner Stady. This is I assume, well, Lauren is presently employed. She has been for quite a while, and she's taken the position of someone who has retired. I'm going to support Commissioner Stady's motion for the promotion of Lauren Dutton. Then I was willing to talk about the notice of appointment of the Tessima Brunel after that. So there's no more discussion. I'm going to call for a vote on.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Yep.
Number 2. On the promotion of Lauren Dutton as head administrative assistant, replacing Diane Watson. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
No,
I understand.
I am opposed, but not because of Laura Dutton or who she is or the job she's going to. Really, it has nothing to do with her. I'm sure she's a wonderful person, but
I understand.
I think we should just wait a few weeks for the Abrahams Group report, and that's fine. It's a vote. So that's why I said no.
Okay.
Lauren Dutton is promoted to head administrative assistant. First
Right.
one, number 1, notice appointment of Tessima Brunel of Medway, Mass. as senior clerk, replacing Sharon Snape, effective 7/12/2021.
Okay, it's unlikely we're going to have Abraham's report, even if we got it tomorrow. We don't have time to read it and vet it. Much as I want to, I think it's not, to be consistent, it's probably not appropriate to make an appointment motion, Mr. Chairman. So I'd move to table it. Is that possible? Can you do that? Or
That'd be fine.
what's our proper procedure here? Move to table the appointment or something?
I'm going to support the tabling, but I'm going to, Director Cronin has one question here. One point.
Sure.
Point for the tables discussion in this matter,
Yeah.
the individual who has left vacated the position on May 3rd. This position
wow.
had previously been frozen as a result of the hiring freeze.
Right.
It was put forth as a result of the hiring freeze expiring at the end of fiscal year 21. So
Okay.
I just want to point out that the vacancy has been vacant now for 2 months. So just FYI.
Wow. I would like to see this acted on again, and I'm looking at the functionality of our registry, which is so important for generating the fees we need. And to be fairness to the rest of those staff. I mean, again, we don't fill a position, someone else has to pick it up, so I want to make sure we're doing the right thing. But I think at this time, it's probably proper to table, I would say, for this appointment. I don't know the proper length of time, but, table it till next month, maybe, I don't know, some date certain, one of our dates in August, is that possible?
First meeting in August. Okay, on a motion to table the appointment of Decima Brunel to the first meeting in August. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye,
Okay, that will be on the first meeting in August, I believe.
okay,
I don't have the date off the top of my head. I can figure it out though. Number 10, payroll and expense warrants for approval.
I'm here, Dick.
Go ahead.
Okay, so
Commissioner Collins.
yeah,
the-
thanks, Peter.
the warrant list from July 7th, 2021, 22-01 payroll county, $131,899.56. Motion.
Second,
All in favor?
Aye.
aye,
Okay, the second one is 7/6/21 WRF credit card payment, $46,090. Motion.
second,
All in favor?
Aye.
aye,
Unanimous.
And the third is 7/1/22 expense county, $459,040.97. Motion.
second,
All in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous.
aye,
By the way, on the tabling of the senior clerk, it'll be on the August 4th.
August 4th, thank you, yep, 8/4, yep,
8/4. Number 12,
Okay, thank you.
number 11, we have no bid openings today. Number 12,
Okay.
contract awards, we have none today. Number
Okay.
13, discussion of American Rescue Plan Act of 2021. A vote may be taken on the acceptance of federal funds at this meeting as noted in the agenda. I'm going to open it up first to Director Cronin. We all attended a meeting last Thursday, which was well attended by all three counties, Norfolk, Bristol, and Plymouth. It was held in Taunton, and it was very informative. Director Cronin.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. With regard to the county's position on the American Rescue Plan Act of 2021, prior to my arrival in mid-June, this county had engaged at a level involving state government, the options for accepting or not the federal funds associated with this act. It is my understanding the federal grant would provide approximately $137 million to the cities and towns within Norfolk County. The manner in which those funds would be distributed, if accepted by the county, would be managed by the county. Over the last couple of months, the county has reached out to its constituent cities and towns to inform of their work to evaluate the possibilities and options. As you mentioned, Mr. Chairman, last week, it culminated in a tri-county meeting between Plymouth, Bristol, and Norfolk. The meeting was very productive. Two treasurers attended as well. Our treasurer, Michael Bellotti, as well as the Plymouth County Treasurer, Tom O'Brien. Plymouth County led the discussion primarily as a result of their experience with the CARES Act, the management of it, which according to reports was wildly successful, wherein they supported their local communities at a level that provided a very low overhead cost and high-end service delivery. I think the counties were duly impressed by the Plymouth model and were encouraged to hear that Plymouth was moving ahead, as was Bristol previously through votes of their commissioners to accept the funds. Plymouth went on to say that under the CARES Act, they had established a program where the treasurer managed the funds as well as the distribution and receipt of the funds. They encouraged the tri-counties to join them in a scales of economy, if you will, proposal to share a plan that they were going to pay for, wherein each county could buy in and thereby diminish the costs. It was an intriguing meeting. No votes were taken. But the plan ahead is clearly with three counties operating in sync. We could project a unified program management with some efficiencies and experience that would benefit the host communities. So this afternoon, we have before you the option to accept the American Rescue Plan Act on behalf of Norfolk County and its constituent cities and towns. One of the things that was impressed upon the commissioners at the meeting last week was the need to slow the process of managing this grant, set the expectation with your cities and towns right away so that they understand what kind of a plan and a process lie ahead for the next 3 years while this grant is in place. And in the event the commissioners this afternoon elect to take the American Rescue Plan Act, I would encourage the commissioners to set that expectation with the constituent cities and towns that we will be working throughout the summer, the next couple of months, to develop the plan, listen very carefully to the constituent cities and towns, their wants and needs, and then begin rolling out a program sometime in September. These are timelines that Plymouth County has put forth as reasonable. These timelines and these plans are subject to change given the scope and size. And one other thing, Mr. Chairman and fellow commissioners, that I want to point out, during the last week or two, as we've collaborated with the other two counties, we have also carefully collaborated with Norfolk County Treasurer Michael Bellotti, who, as I mentioned, attended the meeting. He's been very, very involved, talking with me, talking with the chair about the obligation that may befall his office. As you probably know, he has very limited staffing. And clearly the acceptance of these funds will place a big burden on his operations. We'll have to confront what that means and support him in any way we can going forward. So without further ado, Mr. Chairman, I thought this update might be beneficial to you and anyone listening. And hopefully if there are any questions, we can help answer them. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. I'm going to open this up to the commissioners. Again, we're all at that meeting. I've been to several meetings. I know everybody individually. Last week was a properly called meeting for all of the three counties, and it was very enlightening. And I think that we're in a position to go forward today, hopefully, and go to the next level. But I'm opening it up to the commissioners and to anyone else.
Chairman, if I may, I'd first like to commend our director for a fine report and a great summary of an excellent meeting. I found it, as a new commissioner, a very, very enlightening meeting, and it was a pleasure to meet fellow commissioners in the area and the region and to exchange ideas. I'm a big proponent of any kind of regional discussions you can get with others, because you find out we're all in it together and you learn from one another as well. That said, my vision is, I think, a little different, I think perhaps in Plymouth, and that's only natural. I would see, as I think was talked about, the commissioners taking a more lead role, working, of course, with Treasurer Bellotti. And I would expect John Cronin, our new director, to take the lead in that, and then that discussion in terms of shaping the management and the disbursement. But I did learn a lot. I learned a lot in terms of even, I'll humbly say, the fact is that the money should be going to the cities and towns, and they're our constituents, and they're the ones who need to get this money in the appropriate way. And then, what comes of it later over the 2, 3, 4 year period, I'm sure in the end, we'll be able to take care of our county needs as well, as was discussed. It is a long program. It is something that is going to take a while to work on, to manage, to disperse. And I think all of us hopefully will see it through over the next several years. I'd be very pleased and honored if you'd allow me to make the motion that we accept the provisions of ARPA 2021 as a motion. And as I said, it was a great job by John, and I'm very excited about this opportunity for us as county commissioners.
Commissioner Collins, and then Commissioner, the director.
Clarify something if you wouldn't mind,
sure,
Commissioner Collins. Commissioner Stady, with all due respect, I spoke yesterday with the Plymouth County Treasurer regarding the motion. We have prepared a motion for the commission today to review and evaluate. The nuance of it, Commissioner Stady, has the county treasurer applying for accepting all federal funds, and then designating the Norfolk County Director of Operations to administer these funds. So it's I don't want to call it a complicated motion, but it's a worded motion that has been vetted by Scott Lopez. And I just wanted to make you aware that I prepared that motion for the chair this morning. It is currently on the table. So with all due respect, if you would like,
I would
read the
gladly,
motion.
I'll withdraw that motion, which was done perhaps without that knowledge. And if there is a subsequent motion that's in order, again, I'd be pleased to move it, but that makes sense. That makes sense.
With respect, thank you, sir.
Okay, so
Yeah.
the proposed Norfolk County ARPA vote language is vote to authorize and designate the Norfolk County Treasurer to apply for and accept all federal funds available to the County of Norfolk through the American Rescue Plan Act, ARPA, and to designate the Norfolk County Director of Operations, the administrator of said funds, charging him to work in collaboration with the county treasurer to implement the plan for the expenditure of all such funds. So that's the motion. Excuse me.
That's a motion? Okay. Yep. Yeah, pretty straightforward. Yep. I'm assuming Treasurer Bellatti's okay with this motion. I mean, I suppose he's involved. He's seen it or heard it or read it.
Yes, sir. We met with him this morning.
Okay. All right. Well, as I said, I wanted, as far as discussion, I thought the meeting was well worth it. And I understand we're going to meet again. Look forward to that, I guess, in August, right? I believe. As a
Are you
group.
going to second the motion, Commissioner Stady?
Oh, sure. Oh, yeah. I didn't know if there was a motion made then. I'll second it.
Go ahead and
Absolutely.
second it.
Yep.
I'm going to open it for more discussion before we take the vote. This is a very important vote.
No, I think it's great that we're doing it. I'm excited we're doing it. It's something we've studied and talked about every week. It's been on our agenda, and without beating a dead horse too, I think now that we're taking this vote, Mr. Chairman, we can get out the memo out or the proper communication out to the managers and the business people and our other elected officials that we are moving forward. But also, as John Cronin has pointed out, we need to kind of make sure they understand it's not going to happen tomorrow night. That's all. No, thank you.
Motion's been made a second.
Okay, I have one comment and then we'll take a vote. This has been quite a year, 2021, and I don't have to remind my fellow commissioners. I'm just going to touch on one or two items and then we're going to go forward. We had a lot on our plate. We hired a new superintendent of schools. We hired a new director. We hired a department head at the engineering department. And we're now going to go into the second half of 2021. The American Rescue Plan Act and the unveiling of the best practice report will probably take up, along with our regular business, the second half of 2021. So it's been a banner year. I applaud everyone. I want to thank everyone. Bill Buckley originally was appointed and took the bull by the horns on trying to disseminate, digest, take all this information in. He and Michelle worked on it while they worked on the budget. Then Director Cronin has clearly come aboard, spent an inordinate amount of time in 3 or 4 weeks on it. I know he studied it before he even came to work here, and I thank them. But this vote is historic for us. It's historic for everyone in the state because, to my knowledge, we've never had this kind of federal money available at the county level. Having said that, I think we can have the team in place that can do it. I intend to obviously support this, and I intend to work with all the folks mentioned above, as well as every city and town, in assuring that this money gets passed through to the cities and towns as quickly as possible. But it isn't going to happen overnight, as you said. And we're clearly positioned and in the right place to make this application. And we can't imagine that it won't be on every agenda from now until the rest of this year, until we really get this rolling. And don't forget, this is a 3 or 4 year project, and it's new to us, and we want to work with everyone. So thank you for everyone's work so far. I want to thank our other commissioners in the other counties who expressed interest. We've also heard, of course, from Barnstable and Dukes County, which have a little different setup. but they're also taking it, but they have a little, again, a little different setup than we do. So having said that, if there's no more comment, I'd like to take the vote as written and reviewed by our lawyer and as written into the record by Commissioner Collins. All in favor of,
Why don't you do a roll call vote?
okay, I'm going to take a roll call vote on the acceptance of federal funds under the American Rescue Plan Act of 2021. Commissioner Stady,
Yes, sir.
Commissioner Collins,
Yes.
and Commissioner Shea is going to vote yes. This is unanimous, 3-0. We will be informing everyone and participating in this program. Thank you very much.
Fantastic.
Well, it's that portion of our agenda. Number 14, report on county legislative priorities. Assistant Director Bill Buckley.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you very much. This is obviously my favorite thing to do, given my previous life employment. Very happy to report. I just broke it down really into four matters, two legislative and two budgetary, which we're following at this sort of midpoint of the first year of the two-year session of the Great and General Court. Obviously, our primary legislative priority is H 2906, an act relative to deeds excise receipts, filed by Mr. Galvin of Canton. Had a really productive and positive discussion with Brett Hoffman, who's a Stoughton town meeting member, and he's legislative director for Chairman Galvin. The bill has been sent to the Joint Committee on Revenue, chaired by another Norfolk County legislator, Mark J. Cusack. Currently has 25 co-sponsors. No hearing has been scheduled for the bill, but Rep. Galvin's staff has been tracking it. Generally, we can expect at the very least 48-hour notice, oftentimes a week or 2 weeks ahead of a hearing. So Chairman Galvin's staff will make sure we are kept abreast of when the hearing will be. This is sort of the normal process. We're continuing to sort of chase individual legislators around this. We have a few outliers who, for one reason or another, haven't got on yet, but we still think we can get them. Also of note, we have the same language as filed in the Senate by Senator Rush, our dear friend, as S 1979. So that piece of legislation isn't a holding pattern, but the bulk of the hearings have not been undertaken yet. I think a lot of them are waiting they wanted to get through the question about remote meetings and the extension of COVID legislation as well. That being done, we can probably expect in September or October, perhaps, a hearing on this bill. The other bill is S 2174, an act relative to large-scale solar energy installations on agricultural recreational land of the Commonwealth, filed by Senator Feeney of Foxborough, and a member of Walpole of the Norfolk County Legislative Delegation. That bill only has one co-sponsor, Paul McMurtry, who's filed the identical language as House 3346 in the House. It has also landed itself on the Bad for Environment bill list by a number of environmental coalitions. It too has been sent to the Joint Committee on Telecommunications, Utilities, and Energy with no hearing date scheduled, but we are following it closely. Its path to passage continues to look slim. On budget matters, outside Section 77 of Governor Baker's budget, which we're very familiar with regarding the county study group, it was not included in either the House or Senate budgets, final budgets that they passed, which has now moved on to conference committee. We can be almost completely assured that it will not end up in the final budget, but we're just waiting for the ink to be dried on the final budget, hopefully in the next few weeks after the conference committee gives their report and it's voted by both chambers. So that, while not completely off our radar is pretty much concluded. And finally, Amendment 728 in the House budget by Representative McMurtry regarding a $50,000 expenditure to a Walpole group was not completely successful. $25,000 was earmarked, as we know, in the outside section of the House budget. We were successful in other community groups and environmental groups in not having that same language placed in the Senate budget. It's currently before the conference committee, and when the conference committee's report is filed, we will know what the status is of that. And once the conference committee's report is promulgated, that will be what will be in the final budget. So we still been lobbying and speaking with our colleagues in both chambers on that as well. And I can answer any questions, but that is my report.
Thank you. Any questions of Assistant Director Buckley relative to legislative priorities? Okay.
Thank you, Bill. Nice job on the report. Thank you.
Number 15, report of the county director.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chairman. Just a few items. This morning, the firm that is working on the Dedham Superior Court, Olson Company, had its entry meeting, as I mentioned earlier. We will have a site walkthrough next week as the project gets underway, stressing the need to maintain an operable courthouse during this largely external construction, yet impactful construction. I'll report weekly on any status updates on that project going forward. As Mr. McGowan indicated earlier, the Stoughton Courthouse, there's incremental progress associated with the structural reinforcements that are going on to support the HVAC. I think everyone's frustrated with the developments, but the vendor is stressing the need to stay the course and perform the work according to code. The Quincy Court, we had received several weeks ago a request from DCAM to sign off on a environmental assessment contract that they were sponsoring. I stopped that process and pivoted to our legal counsel, Scott Lopez, who you understand was on vacation. Scott surfaced this week in a contact to this individual, and they've begun a dialogue to understand what DCAM wants out of this process. More to come on that and what this environmental assessment report means in terms of time frame and long-term use of that facility. One final note, we did sign the contract, as you approved last week, for Revise to create a new updated website for Norfolk County. Preliminary timeframes associated with that work indicate that it could be up to 6 months before the new website is active. We've begun a dialogue with them to try to accelerate a portion of it, given the fact that during our ARPA work with cities and towns, we'll use the website as an active portal for them to exchange information, get information from Norfolk County. So we're motivated to try and get that website more operable and public facing. We will use Assistant Director Bill Buckley as the point of contact for handling that work with the vendor. That's all I have. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Okay. Number 16, emergency items or anything the chair did not recently anticipate would be discussed. I have one. I wanted to inquire if is there anyone from Norfolk Aggie on this call? Is John Martin on this call, Superintendent Martin? How about Rick? Rick Fitzpatrick.
I'm here, Joe. What do you need?
Thank you. Nothing. I just, if Superintendent Martin was there, I was going to welcome him aboard. We haven't deliberately left the school off today's agenda, but we had so much more. We'll be back, I'm sure, with school items weekly as we always are, but I wanted to say hello. And we appreciate your support and the good news that Director Cronin delivered to us about the year-end closing at the school is good news, Rick, and it's particularly a credit to you because every year closing is a tough situation, but it came out pretty good and we're very happy. But we'll look into next year and we'll greet Superintendent Martin probably next week.
I appreciate that, Mr. Chairman, and I can't take credit for all of the work that we did to
I understand, but
the budget close, but it was challenging and we did what we had to do. And at this point, I think we're in a better place than I had anticipated for, a litany of things. But as not to speak for the new superintendent, but I know he's been extremely busy meeting with folks and doing the due diligence he needs to do. So him and I do plan on introducing himself to the county commissioners in person and at a future meeting.
okay. Well, we're here every week and we're be happy to say hello and get going.
Nice job on the budget, Rick.
Okay.
Thank you again.
Good job, Rick. Thank you.
Do we have a motion to adjourn at 2:16 p.m.?
A quick question, if I could, real quick, to you, to Bill Bilkley. Bill, is that guest coming in next week, I thought, with Mr. Timmelty? Am I mistaken on that? The special justice or somebody?
Through Mr. Chair.
Go ahead.
I know that the judge has a little bit of vacation and there's some kind of scheduling conflicts, so the clerk is going to get back to me at a time.
Okay,
In a few weeks off. We were speaking about it this morning and he said maybe in the next few weeks as well.
Yeah,
So-
it's
okay,
an-
that's fine.
and
Okay.
it's- We can get
But we
Justice Canoni here, we'll have her here.
and we will make sure that the
Okay.
commissions get a as lengthy as possible. sort of Notice, so for
All
planning.
right.
Notice of
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'll move that we adjourn at 2:15, I believe. That's correct.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye,
Thank you very much.
Take care.
thank
Dave.
This
you.
meeting is
Thank you.
adjourned. Thank you.
Stay away from the.
Thanks,
shower.
everybody.
Recess?
I'm sorry, recess?
Recess?
Yes, we are,
What?
we're not adjourning, we are recessing.
For what reason?
Oh.
Uh,
Oh,
yeah.
All right,
oh, God.
all right. So
We're
you,
not
Oh, God.
adjourning, I'm sorry. If you could withdraw
Could
your
you,
motion, we'll.
I was
recess.
following the chair.
I know.
geez. How do we get out of that?
withdraw your
Uh,
motion.
Withdraw, I'll withdraw the motion to adjourn and amend the motion that we stand in recess at 2:16.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Recess. Thank you very
Okay.
much.
Thanks, Dave.
All right, guys. Catch you soon. Thank you.
The school balance will- Okay,
No.
good.
Always something.
Do we need to go to court next week? Because I gotta make some changes on Tuesday.